let me just formally welcome everyone to the 7th session of KATHA. KATHA, as you know, is a folklore and a mythology club. Some of you have been here before, so you know what this is like. But for a lot of you who are here for the first time, this is a folklore and a mythology club where basically geeks like us meet once a month to discuss stories that we've grown up with, stories from different parts of the world. It's a very informal setting, as you would have guessed already. Right? We usually request a lead storyteller to come and start a conversation on stories that they are passionate about, that they've grown up with. And then afterwards, everyone feel free to chip in. You can, if there's a thought that strikes you based on what Olga is saying, feel free to chip in. There is no rules, there's no structure. It's very free-flowing discussion. And so we're delighted to have Olga for the 7th session of KATHA. She will introduce herself, but just a couple of things about how we do these sessions here. One is, like I said, please don't hold yourself back just because you're not an expert. This is the opposite of a conference. There is no premium for expertise here. Just feel free to chip in questions, thoughts that you have. 2, you can't be, like I said, passive listeners. So Olga, we've given everyone sheets of paper, and as you are narrating the stories, they will sketch the stories that they hear, and we'll have an award for the best worst sketch. Whoever, so you don't have, there's no pressure to draw well. You can just, everyone who's listening will sketch stories, and then the idea is just to not just passively listen, but to engage with the stories that you share. With that, let me hand over to Olga. Maybe if you want to introduce yourself, and then we can start with the discussion. Olga.
Меня зовут Ольга, я художник. Я, наверное, родилась художником, потому что вокруг меня была живопись, была любовь, было искусство. Я родилась в семье профессиональных художников, заслуженных художников России.
So I'm an artist, and I was born in a family of artists. I've been involved in creative work from childhood, and love and art is my heart, is my soul.
В моей жизни искусство было неразрывно связано с моей жизнью, потому что все, что я видела, я превращала в картину. Было это или блюдо на кухне, рождение детей.
Everything I see, I feel, I try to express through my paintings. So everything, food, smells.
My children.
Yeah, her children. So everything.
I have 2 sons.
Можно сказать, что она тоже живет.
Да.
Yeah. So Olga, she has 2 sons, and they also grow in art. So.
Да, когда мои дети подросли, они сказали: мама, ты все время вырываешься с нами, ты таскаешь нас по миру. Может быть, ты одна будешь путешествовать, а приезжать и дарить нам радость дома.
So Olga travels a lot, and she can't stay in one place for, I don't know, maybe for 10 days. And her sons said that, Mom, please travel without us. Just come home and give us love and happiness.
Сейчас я путешествую, я люблю Индию, я путешествую по Индии постоянно. Больше 20 дней в месяц я не могу находиться на одном месте.
So I love India so much, and as I mentioned, I can't stay in one place for 10 days. I must travel. I always travel.
Да, я пишу более 300 картин в год.
So Olga creates more than 300 pages in a year. In a year.
I make painting every day.
Every day, yes. Every day.
And all of them are music?
No, big or small?
Okay.
Yes.
It's very different.
Да? Да.
So,
15-20 minutes and then we have a discussion.
Да, конечно. Да, 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 конечно.
Maybe.
No, you can start the story.
No, yeah,
okay.
okay, so.
Мгм.
Да.
Ну, все просто расскажу, да?
Ну, можете, да, можете думаю, по тексту давайте.
Хорошо. Когда я впервые оказалась в Индии, я поняла, что по-настоящему встретиться с этой страной мало увидеть ее глазами. Нужно позволить себе поселиться и пожить среди индийских людей. Увидеть, чтобы понять красоту страны, нужно было окунуться в нее полностью.
So when I, Russian artist, first found myself in India, I realized that it's not enough to just see it with my eyes to truly meet this country. You need to let it settle in your soul through its colors, smells, through people, through the music, through the language. And of course through its fairy tales, because it is this path, the path of artistic and sensual perception, that has become a bridge between my two homelands, between Russia and India. And I often think that culture is the most enduring and sincere bridge between nations, between people.
И сегодня я хочу рассказать, как русская сказка, это мощный инструмент мягкой силы моей страны, неразрывно связан между нашими странами, которые в свою очередь не только наполняют нас, не только они открывают наш мир, но и дают возможность сблизить индийский народ и русский народ.
Today I want to share with you how Russian fairy tales, a powerful tool of my country's soft power, help us to better understand each other. My creative work here in India and this evening are made possible by the support and unique atmosphere of dialogue created by the Россотрудничество offices around the world, and their mission, my mission, to open Russia to the world through language, art, and also through the fairy tales.
Сегодня я хочу представить две серии картин. Это «Золотой петушок» Пушкина и «Золотая антилопа». Это...
Today I'd like to present two series of my paintings. The first series is dedicated to Alexander Pushkin's fairy tale The Golden Cockerel, and the second one to the Gold Antelope.
Пушкин это не просто великий поэт для России, он создал некий культурный ход, который объединил, универсальный ключ, который объединил именно Россию с Индией. Он объединил единый, как бы нашел единый ключ понимания сказок, понимания литературы между нашими странами.
So Pushkin, it's not just a great poet for Russia. It's cultural code. It's universal key to understanding the Russian soul. And the Golden Cockerel is a parable whose wisdom is understood anywhere in the world. So it's about the price of unfulfilled promises, the blindness of power, and the inevitability of fate.
А вот сейчас хочу зачитать именно на русском языке вам сказку. Я постараюсь ее прочитать немножко быстро, но в то же время это старославянский язык. То есть слова, которые даже в переводе немного сложны.
So now I would like to read the fairy tale in Russian. I watched yes, and this fairy tale is written in old Russian language. So it's difficult, you know. It can be sound strange in English. So, but we will try to share with you the sounds of this fairy tale.
Я хочу сразу сказать, чтобы обратили внимание на эту сказку, о чем я буду говорить, а потом в переводе будет говорить Анастасия. Потому что я хочу, чтобы кому-то из вас досталась одна моя картина. Я сейчас вам ее покажу. Это будет вопрос, один вопрос будет задан, и этот вопрос будет как раз по сказке.
So I would like that you listen carefully. So we need your attention, because later we will have, like, you know, some kind of quiz. So yes, there will be one question which will be dedicated to the story. One question and another question. So one of you can win a painting. So yeah.
Вы помните читать?
Давайте вы как, давайте, но тут меня не идет никак у вас.
Нет, я просто буду странично, а ты будешь как смотришь.
Давайте.
Сказка о золотом петушке. Александр Сергеевич Пушкин. Негде, в тридевятом царстве, в 30-м государстве, жил-был славный царь Дадон. С молоду был грозен он, и соседям то и дело наносил обиды смело. Но под старость захотел отдохнуть от разных дел и покой себе устроить. Тут соседи беспокоить стали страшного царя, страшный вред ему творят. Чтоб концы своих владений охранять от нападений, должен был он содержать многочисленную рать. Воеводы не дремали, но никак не успевали. Ждут, бывало, силы глядь, а с востока летит рать. Справят здесь лихие гости, идут от моря со злости, им забывалый сон. Вот он с просьбой о помоге обратился к мудрецу, звездочету и скопцу, шлет за ним гонца с поклоном. Вот мудрец перед Дадоном стало вынул из мешка золотого петушка. Посади-ка ты эту птицу, молвил он царю, на спицу. Петушок мой золотой, будет верный сторож твой. Коль кругом все будет мирно, так сидеть он будет смирно, но лишь чуть со стороны ожидать тебе войны.
Alexander Pushkin, The Golden Cockerel, or The Tale of... Okay. Alexander Pushkin, The Golden Cockerel, or The Tale of the Golden Rooster. In a kingdom far away, King Dadon once upon a time ruled with fame, and in the prime of his glory missed no chance to hit his neighbors, and not once waged victorious bloody war. Yet with years he would prefer quiet and peaceful life. But then, in their turn upon the old man, the neighbors took their cruel revenge and inflicted severe damage on the kingdom. To defend the large country every end, poor King Dadon was forced to keep a strong army without sleep. Generals did watch and wait, yet they always were too late. Would expect from south and from the east invaders went, managed there to only see new attackers from the sea. What a life in such vexation, overwhelmed with indignation. Poor King Dadon just wept in rage. Finally he found a sage and begged him for some advice. The astrologer produced from his sack a golden rooster, saying to the ruler, "Sir, set this rooster on a spire, and he will become a smart, most reliable bodyguard. watching all your lands around. He will not produce a sound while it's quiet, but as soon as the border is crossed by enemies, evil people will invade it, or some trouble uninvited. The rooster will no longer rest. He will raise his crimson crest, spread his wings and loudly crow, and directions also show. Turning to the dangerous place, King Dadon, with a good grace, thanks him, offers heaps of gold, and at last suggests, behold, since you did me a good turn, I'll be generous in return, and shall happily fulfill the first your subsequent will.
Чуть опасность где видна, верный страж, как со сна, шевельнется, встрепенется и кричит: «Кукареку!» Царство лежа на боку, и соседи присмирели, воевать уже не смели. Таковой царь Дадон дал отпор со всех сторон. Год-другой проходит мирно, петушок сидит все смирно. Вот однажды царь Дадон страшным шумом пробужден. «Царь ты наш, отец народа!» — возглашает воевода. «Государь, проснись, беда!» «Что такое, господа?» — говорит Дадон, зевая. «А, кто там, беда какая?» Воевода говорит: «Петушок опять кричит!»
Right today, the zealous cock on his spire got down to work. Wherever danger is hardly seen, both his eyes extremely keen, he directs towards this side, shakes his wings, and with all might crows, "Cock-a-doodle-doo!" Ryan without much to do, and all neighbors quieted down, carrying of their own crowns, such vigorous reflection. Vigorous reflection they received in each direction. A year and another passed. The rooster is mute until at last wakes the city with the noise in extremely loud voice. "King, get up! Be people's father!" Cry the generals. Don't bother. What's the matter?" Answers sleepy King Dadon. "Well, you just look out, sir. The rooster is crying on his spire."
Страх и шум во всей столице. Царь к окошку, а на спице видит, бьется петушок, обратившись на восток. Медлить нечего. Скорее, люди, на коней, живее! Царь к востоку войско шлет. Петушок угомонился, шум утих, и царь забылся. Вот проходит 8 дней, от войска нет вестей. Было и не было ли сражения, нет до дома донесений. Петушок кричит опять: «Кукареку! Кукареку!» Кричит царь другую рать. Сына он теперь меньшого шлет на выручку большого. А петушок опять утих. Снова вести нет от них. Снова 8 дней проходит. Люди в страхе дни проводят.
Well, you just look out, sir. The rooster is crying on his spire. Facing east, we are all in fear. And indeed, the king can hear from the window an awful roar. What are you waiting for? In no time you have to sound the alarm. All horsemen mount. To the east, the troops have gone, led by the elder son. And the rooster did calm down. So the king took off his crown, went to sleep. In 8 days yet, no news from troops they get, no message. Suddenly, then the rooster starts to cry again, giving a terrible alarm. King equips another army and directs his younger son to help out the elder one. For a while, the rooster is mute, yet again there are no news for another 8 days. Then he begins to crow again. Facing east from his high steeple, king conscripts remaining people, placing himself at the head, doubting what is good of that.
Петушок кричит опять. Кукареку! Царь скликает третью рать и ведет ее к востоку, сам не зная, быть ли проку. Войска идут день и ночь, им становится не вмочь, ни побоища, ни стана, ни надгробного кургана не встречает царь Дадон. Что за чудо, мыслит он? Вот 8-й уж день проходит, войско в город царь приводит, и промеж высоких гор видит шелковый шатер. Все в безмолвии чудесном, а вокруг шатра в ущелье тесно рать побитая лежит. Царь Дадон к шатру спешит.
Facing east from his high steeple, king conscripts remaining people, placing himself at the head, doubting what is good of that. Troops are marching day and night, and the soldiers are getting tired. No field camp or burial mound or a battle place around they can find. Well, what a wonder, thinks King Dadon. Or did we wander out of the day at last? Then 8 days have already passed. In high mountains they see a luxurious silk maki. Everything is mute around. Maki. Everything is mute around. The maki on bloody ground. The whole army slaughtered lies.
Царь завыл. О, дети, дети, горе мне попали сети, о, наши сокола, горе, смерть моя пришла. Все забыли за Дадоном, застонали тяжким стоном, глубь долин и сердце гор потряслось. Вдруг шатер распахнулся, и девица, шамаханская царица, вся сияя, как заря, тихо встретила царя.
King Dadon can't believe his eyes, watching a heart-ending sight. Clearly, after a cruel fight, in the fierce single combat, both his sons are laying dead, stabbed each one by brave sword. First, King Dadon couldn't say a word. Then he wailed, "Oh, my dear sons, woe is me! In a net at once caught both falcons, and I hear my own death is creeping here." After him, whole army wails, even mountains and valleys are shaken. Suddenly the tent did sweep open, and out went the damsel Shamaha's queen. Such a beauty was never seen. Shining like the morning dawn, she met the king in her gold crown, as a night bird before the sun. In front of her he turned to stone.
И она перед Дадоном улыбнулась и с поклоном его за руку взяла и в шатер свой увела. Всяким явством угощала, уложила отдыхать на парчевую кровать, и потом неделю ровно, покорясь ей безусловно, околдован восхищен, пировал у ней Дадон.
She met the king in her gold crown as a night bird before the sun. In front of her he turned to stone, stared at her black coal eye, and forgot his sons did die. She smiled, bowed, and they went, arm in arm, to her silk tent. At the table he was seated, with delicious viands treated, for the sweetest rest is led to a bed of gold brocade, and preciously the whole week, obedient to her and meek, charmed with his neck humbly bent, he was feasting in her tent.
Перед ним молва бежала, были не были разглашала, под столицей близ ворот шумом встретил их народ.
Finally, the time has come for the return journey home. With the army and your queen, for 2 weeks king wasn't seen, and the masses were not able always tell effect from fable, parish troops and sons and marriage, rumors run ahead of the carriage, then luxuries and brought, it was met by the cheering crowd at the city gates.
Царь, ответствует мудрец, разочтемся наконец. Помнишь за мою услугу? Обещал ты мне как другу волю первую мою ты исполнить как свою. Подаришь ты мне девицу, шамаханскую царицу. Крайний царь был изумлен. Что ты, старцу молвил он? Или без тебя вернулся, или ты с ума рехнулся? Что ты в голову забрал? Я, конечно, обещал, но всему же есть границы. И зачем тебе девица? Полно знаешь, кто ли я. Попроси-ка ты меня. Хоть казну, хоть чин боярский, хоть коня с конюшни царской, хоть полцарства моего. Не хочу я ничего. Подари-ка мне девицу, шамаханскую царицу.
The king welcomes all his subjects, being in good spirits. Straight ahead, in a white Saracenic hat, is waiting his old friend, the sage, already in advanced age, grey as a swan. Dadon cries, "Come here. How are you? What's up, my dear? What would you wish?" The old man says, "So, sir, now you will pay me, yes? You would square up with me if give you damsel as a gift." Dadon extremely was surprised, even his eyebrows raised. "Are you crazy?" asked the king. "How dare you even think?" "Well, I promised. Yes, I did. Your requests, however, exceed any bounds. And what for? Could you possibly need her? Over this, don't lose your sleep, and my promise I will keep. Any reasonable task. For example, you may ask for some gold, or a wine cellar, or the rank of Lord Chancellor. Half a kingdom, if you please." "No, I don't want all this. Under our contract, sir, give just her as I require."
Содрогнулась девица, хи-хи-хи, да ха-ха-ха, не боится знать греха. Царь хоть был встревожен сильно, усмехнулся ей умильно, вот въезжает в город он. И в глазах у всей столицы петушок спорхнул со спицы, колесница полетел и царю на теме сел. Встрепенулся, клюнул в теме и взвился, и в то же время с колесницы пал Дадон. Охнул раз и умер он, а царица вдруг попал, будто вовсе не бывал. Сказка ложь, да в ней намек, добрым молодцем урок.
"No, I don't want all this. Under our contract, sir, give just her as I require," answers solidly the sage. King spat out, "At your age, such a wish, I say again. Do not tease yourself in vain. You will get just nothing then. Guards, pull off this wimpled man." The poor guy tried to argue, yet his big last mistake was that. Dadon just hit him in his brow with the warder. He fell down and gave up the ghost. Whole city shuddered, yet there was no pity shown by the damsel. She said just ha 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 and he he he, not much scared by the scene, and although Dadon was in some distress, but he only smiled to her complacently. Finally, their coach entered the square at the city center. Then the air at once resounded with a ringing. People around at the spot together looked. There the rooster suddenly took wing and sat down right on the very crown of King Dadon. Then pecked slightly the bold ground. The same moment Dadon fell down from the coach once he sighed, and immediately died. And the queen has disappeared, as if she was never here. This tale is a fib, and yet lessons can be learned from that.
Мы просим прощения за столь долгий рассказ, но понять русского человека, не зная эту сказку, нельзя. А вот дальше мы уже будем с вами анализировать и представлять, какое наполнение в нем.
It was a little bit a long story, but we would like you feel it. We would like to introduce the Russian language. So I don't know how it was in English. Was it? It was strange. Yeah?
No, it was really picked up the.
So, but now we can discuss maybe.
Я задам сейчас один вопрос, а дальше по сказке мы зададим уже еще несколько вопросов, но чуть позже. Первый вопрос, который будет звучать так, я думаю, что запомнили все, сколько сыновей у Дадона?
So now Olga would like to ask the question. How many sons?
Отвечать не надо пока. Каждый для себя просто отметьте, чтобы потом... да.
So think about how many sons Dadon had. Just you can now don't answer, please. Just keep it in your mind.
Мы просто хотели, чтобы вы запомнили какие-то аспекты, чтобы потом эта сказка у вас по некоторым деталям всплывала.
So Olga wants that maybe you will remember some aspects of this fairy tale. So maybe in the future, I don't know, maybe you will have situation then you will talk to the Russians and maybe I know in the fairy tale the golden rooster.
Ну, вас совсем уже, наверное, замучили сказками, сейчас будем рассказывать дальше. В своей истории по сказке Пушкина я стремилась передать не сюжет, а внутренний образ героя.
In my series based on Pushkin's fairy tale, I aimed to convey not the plot, but his inner image.
Да, к сожалению, не привезла одну из работ как раз с царем Дадоном. Да.
So I have another painting with the King Dadon, but I think it's in the Russian house now. So.
Вообще, изначально царь Дадон, он не злодей, он настолько уставший правитель от разгульной жизни, от каких-то эмоций, которые все время его наполняли. Сейчас он жаждущий покоя, но это всего лишь кажется, что он добрый, что он наполнен добром. Но его добро оказывается эгоистичным и пассивным, и он хочет порядка без усилий, как во всех сказках, в принципе.
The King Dadon seems to be the evil, but he's not inherently evil. He's a ruler. Wary of his wild lifestyle, longing for peace, which seems like a good thing. However, his goodness turns out to be selfish and passive. He desires order without effort.
Золотой петушок дан ему как благо, как инструмент добра и защиты его самого. Но любое благо, используемое без мудрости, без мудрого, превращается в проклятие. Петушок становится символом ложной безопасности. Потому что с виду он красивый петушок, он яркий, он такой весь живой, да, он кричит, он играет, да, но в то же время он становится...
You know, the golden rooster is given to him as a blessing, as a tool for goodness and protection. However, any blessing used without wisdom becomes a curse. Yes.
Yeah.
And the rooster becomes a symbol of false security. So he's bright, alive, but it's like a mask.
Самое интересное, наверное, и самая такая загадочная, это шамаханская царица. Она у меня написана в цветах увядающего заката, хотя они были несколько раз перекрыты. Ты нас добавишь, да? Что сначала это было более красное, а потом стало более, а я еще продолжу дальше. Это не воплощение чистого зла, она это проверка искушения. Зачастую, я не отхожу от текста, да, искушение, проверка, она является тенью Дадона, то есть тенью вот этой разгульной жизни, которая окружала его много лет, да, она именно вот это зерно. Она проявляет его скрытые пороки, лень, доверчивость, отказ от данного слова. Вообще шамаханская царица – это символ соблазнительного и самого опасного сна, из которого сам царь так и не проснулся.
Вы хотите сказать, что вы сначала картину в красных оттенках хотели?
Да, да, она была в красном.
То есть яркая, а потом темная.
Да, она уже начала, поэтому здесь есть проблески. Можно это сказать, но при определенном углу.
Посмотрим. The Queen of Shamahi painted in the colors of a fading sunset. But Olga wanted to paint it in bright colors, in red colors, but later changed her decision, and now we see the painting in these colors. So the queen, she is a temptation, a test. Maybe we could say that she is a shadow of the king Dadon. She reveals all his hidden flaws, maybe his laziness, his gullibility. The Queen of Shamahi is the embodiment of the most seductive and dangerous dream from which King Dadon never managed to wake up. Yes.
Но можно сказать, что вот золотой петушок сам по себе, да, он как яркое пятно, это не просто персонаж, а тревожный сгусток на фоне надвигающейся грозы, потому что если рассматривать саму ночь, она настолько темна, и насколько он ярок, его крик — это цветовые взрывы на бархате ночи.
The golden rooster is not just a character, but an alarming golden cloud against the backdrop of an approaching thunderstorm. Its cry is a burst of color, a cinnabar stain on the velvet of the night. This artistic experience of the fairy tale shows that its wisdom lies not in words, but in images that resonate with the soul of anyone, regardless of their languages.
Вообще, рассматривая, наверное, любые сказки и связь между нашими народами, просто необходимо, наверное, упомянуть, да, тех людей, которые неразрывно связывали наши две страны.
You know, Olga would like to mention some names, famous people who connected our countries, our cultures. So maybe we can call them like a bridge between
Living bridge.
living bridge.
То есть
Yeah.
я совершенно не первая женщина и не первый человек, который начинает выявлять, ну, то есть выявляет, да, эти похожие стратегии жизни.
So Olga says that she and not only she but other people find in and also in Indian culture and in Russian culture some similar aspects, tools. So yeah, maybe it seems that we are different, and we are, but there are also some something that we all maybe some values that we all share.
Если рассматривать Афанасия Никитина, да, чье хождение за три моря было живой, полной зарисовкой удивленных ярких образов, он стал первым русским, кто увидел Индию, показал ее во всей красоте, показал ее сказку, показал ее любовь. Любовь через искусство, наверное, через жизнь, да, через движение.
You know, Afanasy Nikitin, whose journey beyond the three seas was not a report but a vivid sketch full of wonder and vivid imagery, was the first Russian artist to see India and show it to us, not as a fairy tale but as a reality worthy of admiration.
What was his name? Nikitin.
Afanasy Nikitin.
Хождение за три моря, то есть это известно.
Yes, it's a very famous painting, Journey Beyond Three Seas.
On Indian landscape.
Yes. Василий Верещагин, тоже, я думаю, что это известное имя, который пошел дальше. Его индийская серия работ, вот самая большая, самая крупная его работа висит в Калькутте, да. Насколько он использовал мощные краски, любовь, вот как раз создавая национальный портрет Индии.
So another famous name, Vasily Vereshchagin. His works you can see in Calcutta. Calcutta, I'm sorry. And Vasily Vereshchagin went even further. His Indian series are no longer sketches but powerful artistic canvases. He used light, color and composition to create an emotional portrait of India. Maybe exotic India, but always human. Yes, and in our opinion, his brush, his art, was a tool of soft power that introduced Russia to the soul of India through pure aesthetics.
Да, если говорить об искусстве, да, то вот, наверное, одни из сильных вот, художников, да, которые именно прочувствовали, мы о них упомянули, потому что они именно смогли объединить и искусство, и фольклор, да, воединое, то есть пропустив русскую, индийскую действительность через российскую душу.
So Vasily Vereshchagin and Afanasy Nikitin, they managed to introduce some Indian culture, Indian folklore to the Russians. So through their paintings, Russians could understand more India.
Если рассматривать дальше не только искусство, но и искусство слова, да, мы сейчас с вами дальше дойдем, конечно, до золотой антилопы, но до золотой антилопы нельзя дойти, перескочив этих людей, потому что если рассматривать Льва Толстого и Махатма Ганди, которые вывели эту силу на новый уровень, да, их переписка, идеологии политиков, мыслителей, говорящих на языке универсальных ценностей. То есть Толстой, как художник слова, чувствовал силу ненасилия, как мощнейший духовный образ. Ганди, который в свою очередь воплотил в жизнь, превратил его в реальную политическую силу.
The connection and I think the friendship of Leo Tolstoy and Mahatma Gandhi, it's a great thing, and Lev Tolstoy and Mahatma Gandhi took his power to a new, took this power, the power of friendship between Russia and India to a new level, because their correspondence is a dialogue, but not a political one. It's a dialogue of cultures, and they both spoke the language of universal values. Tolstoy, as an artist of the world, felt the power of non-violence as a powerful spiritual image, which Mahatma Gandhi, in turn, brought to life, turning it into a real political force. This is the ultimate manifestation of soft power, where an idea born in one cultural context changes history in another.
Ну, и, наверное, хочется еще сказать, что не только художники, политики, да, смогли соединить наши культуры, да, ну и если обратиться к поэтам, Рабиндранат Тагор как раз и завершает этот круг. Он был не просто поэтом, он был художественным деятелем целостного восприятия мира. Он видел в русской душе родственную тягу к просторам и духовной ценности. И вот как раз, наверное, вот эти люди, и с помощью них мы можем сейчас проанализировать золотую антилопу.
So there are not only artists and politicians managed to connect our peoples, but also poets. For example, Rabindranath Tagore. He was not just a poet, but an artist of holistic perception of the world. His visits to Russia and his lectures were a hymn to mutual enrichment through culture. He saw in the Russian soul a similar longing for vastness, both spiritual and physical, and called on us to seek together the universal man who unites East and West.
Вы знаете, и уже не в первый раз я рассказываю о русских сказках, да, и когда я начинала и загадывала написание сказки «Золотая антилопа», я начала спрашивать у индийских студентов, знают ли они ее. Вот знаете ли вы ее?
Then I started to work on this painting, on the golden antelope. I asked the Indian students, do you know this fairy tale? Do you know the golden antelope?
You know?
No.
Да? Тогда прям буквально несколько строчек мы расскажем эту историю, эту сказку, потому что это именно выдержка из народных сказок. Но в России она преподносилась как индийская сказка, индийская народная сказка «Золотая антилопа».
Now some words about the fairy tale The Golden Antelope, in just few words, because in Russia this fairy tale is introduced like the Indian one.
Мы
So-
его изучали в школах.
And yeah, in schools we all read this fairy tale, and I think every Russian, every child in Russia knows this fairy tale, and yes, you can.
But this is introduced as an Indian folk tale.
Yes.
Must be from Ramayana. Could it be
Yeah, is it from
connected
Ramayana?
with Ramayana?
Quite possible. We'll find out.
Yes.
Я буквально вот зачитай вот это
Yeah.
краткое содержание буквально в двух словах.
Yes, it's, you know now a summary of this fairy tale. Once upon a time, there was a powerful and wealthy Raja in India. He was so rich that he couldn't count his own treasures. Vast lands, luxurious palaces, and chests filled with precious stones and gold coins. The Raja had everything he could wish for, but he was also very greedy and cruel. One day, while hunting, he caught a golden antelope. It was golden because real gold coins flew out of its hooves. Hooves, I'm sorry, hooves. And it was only thanks to the
Orphaned working boy.
orphaned working boy that the poor animal managed to escape capture. Then the greedy Raja and his servants captured the boy, demanding to know where the golden antelope was hidden under threat of death. She came to her friend's aid, and the evil was punished, literally, buried in gold that turned into shards.
Into shards.
Into shards.
Но получается так, что антилопа, вот здесь на карте не показано, что антилопа, может быть, это схематично показано, что это монета, да, но она скачущая была по дому Раджи, да, и он в итоге просто умер, столкнулся с этими деньгами, которые потом превратились. Да, здесь сказано, да.
Да,
это
so,
более понятно, что
he died in his gold.
In his gold.
In his gold, and so don't be so greedy. Yes.
И почему я обратилась именно к этой сказке? Именно потому, что ее индийские дети не знают. И это именно то, что спустя века, да, эту сказку знали мои родители, да, и спустя несколько веков круг замкнулся, и я решила обратно передать вот эти знания индийским детям.
You know, the Indians, they don't know about this fairy tale, but all Russians, they know, and through this fairy tale, they learn something about India, and that's why Olga decided to paint it. It's, you know, it's like a circle, and this circle has come full circle in her, because her series, The Golden Antelope, is an attempt to bring back your image, filtered through the lens of Russian fairy tale tradition, but enriched by her personal artistic experience of living in India.
Да, здесь можно просто говорить, что вот я писала антилопу, вспоминая, как, наверное, солнечный свет падает на башни Джайпура, на башни Пушкара, да, то есть рассматривая вот эту игру, наверное, теней, радости и, я не знаю, как сказать, огня, вот именно с помощью вот этого огня я пыталась передать золотую антилопу. То есть ежедневно я, можешь, знаешь, сказать, что ежедневно, живя в Варанаси, я видела огонь, то есть арт. Да, Пуджа, ну арт, там
So Olga, she lived in Varanasi, and almost every day she saw the fire.
Да, да.
Aarti on the ghats of
Aarti of the Ghats.
Когда вы
Yes.
смотрите на арте, мне почему-то всегда казалось, что это и есть золотая антилопа. То есть это счастье, это любовь, это добро.
And in this, she saw love, she saw goodness, and she saw the golden antelope. You know, yeah. So as she worked on this series of paintings here in India, she felt this beautiful cultural circle coming to close. As a Russian artist, she is inspired by the image of the golden antelope, which comes from Indian legends, and she brings it back to you in the language of modern painting. In these works, she tried to capture the very soul of Indian color, not just its brightness, but its inner glow and spiritual intensity. So, as Olga says, I wrote Antelope, remembering how the sunlight played on the walls of Jodhpur, and how its gold was the reflection of the evening arti on the Ganges. Ganges. Sorry, Ganga. I saw in her not a mythical creature, but the very soul of this land, free, generous, free, and elusive.
Да, я думаю, что если бы, конечно, проследить все работы, тогда можно было посмотреть эту нить, которая проходит через все работы, да, символизм, который присущ. Ну, давай, сможешь перевести, вот, допустим, вот про эту работу, да, про эту золотую антилопу, да? На заднем плане это храм, не знаю, как правильно назвать, может быть, мне кто-то подскажет, храм звука в Биджапуре.
So there is a temple in
Bijapur.
There is a temple of sound in Jaipur.
Yes.
Jaipur.
Yes.
Maybe.
Да.
Maybe, and you can see it in
Я
the
показала, да, я показала, да.
Yeah, on the
It's
back.
Gol Gumbaz actually.
Чтобы соединить вот тот звук, который расходится, да, и вот это свечение.
She tried to connect the sound from this temple with
Через сердце антилопы пропустить, да, что это идет от сердца антилопы такой же звук, то есть соединить вот это.
Olga says that the same sound goes through from antelope's heart, you know, like the sound from the temple.
То есть если там, допустим, у петуха это одна энергия, да, то антилопу я воспринимаю как огонь, как что-то на другом уровне, ну, как другой уровень восприятия, наверное, потому что тоже индийское какое-то другое.
So Elena, Olga, she says that antelope is something that she feels as lady. So, имеется в виду то, что петух разный, имеется в виду, что это русский петух, а антилопа.
Антилопа, она загадочная, она наполненная, она божественная.
You know that Olga says that the rooster has a Russian soul, while the antelope, yes.
То есть у них другие совершенно. Но в заключение можно просто сказать, что искусство и фольклор это самые честные слова, потому что они как... Давай я просто зачитаю вот эту часть дуэта и уже...
So, and I think we think that the main idea of our meeting today is that art and folklore are the most honest diplomats.
Thank you so much. thank you so much for showing us a window to your soul, to the Russian and the Indian soul. Any thoughts, comments?
I have actually two thoughts.
Yeah.
Interesting. Antelope. So
You might use
So the idea of antelope. So you would have all have heard कि it is forbidden to cross sea. So why? Question comes why. So the idea was when we do the Sankalpa, Jambu Deep ek Bharat Khande Ari Deshe. So Jambu Deep is from Gandhar to Bengal. Now why this part is considered to be Vedic and auspicious for Yagna? The concept goes the Krishna Sara Mriga, the black antelope, जहाँ घूमते हैं, that is the land for the Vedic, rites. So the idea of antelope is very close to the Vedic idea. So wherever the black antelopes used to roam is basically the Vedic geography of India. And also in Valmiki Ramayana the word comes Mriga. We consider Mriga to be deer, but Mrig is technically antelope. One thing. And going back to the cock, I'm very much into Gupta history. And if anyone is aware of Gupta history, there is a king which comes by the name Kumar Gupta. Lord Kartikeya has two very good symbologies, peacock and cock. Kartikeya is Lord of War. He has an emblem of cock. The cock is and how it was symbolized in Gupta iconography on the top of the spear. So there is something which is going from here and to there. I don't know how, but as soon as I heard about the symbology of spear and cock, and again the cock guarding the king with all the evils, that was the same idea, and it went so extreme in Gupta kings that Kumar Gupta had coins specially casted where the cock was holding a spear, and that's what I sketched. So because I am very much into Gupta numismatics, and this is one of the very costly, I would say priceless coins. One of the only available coins where a cock is holding a spear, and this was casted by Kumar Gupta in 3rd century, 4th century CE.
Wow.
So Pushkin is coming somewhere in 18th century. Here we have.
Olga understands.
So these two things actually are going in my mind, so I thought I should say it.
Very nicely put.
Thank you.
Yeah, Prashant.
So, I think
No, we just discussed.
Sorry. Prashant.
in 1880, Bhartendu Harishchandra wrote a play called Andhe Nagri Chaupat Raja. So, in that play, actually, the king was a foolish king. And it's arbitrary justice, procedural justice is arbitrary, and there are price controls in the country. So a guru and two shishya, a guru and two disciples visit the city, and one of the disciples is very happy because everything is at the same price. And the guru says, "This is land of foolish king. You must not stay here." He refuses to comply. He stays there. And later, because the justice is also arbitrary, prices are arbitrary, so justice is also arbitrary, he is caught for a crime that someone else has done. So then he recalls his guru's warning. The guru comes, he saves him. They pretend to do a drama. So guru says, I should be hanged first. The disciple says, no, I should be hanged first. The king is confused. So the king asks, why do you want to be hanged? They say, because it's the auspicious time. Whoever dies at this time will directly go to heaven. So the king says, okay, I want to die first. So exactly, very similar to this golden cockerel story, the king actually dies because of his own foolishness and the greed to go to heaven.
Скупости, жадности и...
Это, кстати, одна из единственных русских сказок, которая по-моему, единственная.
You know, if we're not mistaken, but it is the only one fairy tale, this one, with the bad end.
The bad end.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
We'll take maybe 3 more comments and then we'll close because I'm conscious of time.
Yeah. In India, deer is a Masita, golden deer. In Indian mythology, just used for as a whole Ramayana in written on the golden deer. And one is Indian literature, Mrg deer have a Kasturi.
Yeah.
In Kasturi related to Indian spirituality, we search God in outer world, but just God is in our heart, just like Kasturi in
In the
Antidote.
There is
Yes,
a saying by Kabir. It says, "कस्तूरी कुंडल बसे,
Yes.
मृग ढूंढे बनमाही,
हाँ.
और ऐसे घटघट राम है दुनिया
ये
देखे."
देखे ना
Say it again,
है.
Anand. We'll use this as a Insta reel.
Да.
I think there is a saying by Kabir, that's what I can remember. It says, "कस्तूरी मृग पे बसे, मृग ढूंढे बनमाही, ऐसे घटघट राम है दुनिया देखत नहीं."
What does it mean?
It says that kasturi is a
Navi.
substance inside the antelope, and he looks for it everywhere. It's a similar way that God is there in yourself, and everybody, the whole world looks it from outside, at the outside.
Yes.
Которая наблюдает и наказывает.
Yeah. So, like a parallel I can draw is that even in the Ramayana, while the Ravan comes to get Sita, when he throws the golden, what you call the antelope is somewhat like the similar animal. Is again that Sita falls for the beauty and all the very what do you call this very luxurious reward of having a golden deer.
Correct.
And so does the king. Dadon also
Mm.
falls for the same one. He also
Correct.
wants as a possessor for the golden rooster at the same time. And both the time it was the sage in the Rajan story, and of course the Ravan also came as a sage while the Ram was hunting for the deer, the golden deer. Ravan also come as a sage to Mata Sita.
Although Pushkin also borrowed the story from an earlier folktale.
Yeah.
There was a Washington Irving folktale
Mhm.
who's a author from the 18th 19th. He lived and he wrote in the early 19th century. An American storyteller.
Вот они предполагают, что, возможно, Пушкин одолжил эту историю американского писателя, ну, американского какого-то другого поэта, и не знаете, не знаете?
And in that story, the magician is a bad
Но они
person.
больше не похожи.
Если рассматривать сказки, истории, былины, они все, в принципе, перекликаются у одного народа, перечитать другой народ.
We don't know word or not, but I think that fairy tales from different countries they travel and they have some similar ideas, values.
Представляются разные герои.
Yes, maybe different. That there are different characters, but maybe ideas because we are all
Same people.
They are similar.
Давай,
And now we have a question.
Okay, the prize. Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
Painting.
I hope you understood my English translation of this fairy tale.
Good. It was good. None of you
No, but okay. So the question is, how many times did the rooster crow?
Two, I said two.
3 times 5 pigs.
4.
Yes. Yes. Four. Because the first one was a real sound like cock. Yes, and our just like full of words. So yeah, 4 times.
Самое интересное, что в России, когда спрашиваешь у людей, сколько кричал петух, говорят 3.
Yeah, but in
Никто
Russia,
не может ответить.
but the majority of people in Russia says that the rooster crows 3 times.
3 or 5.
3 or 5? Yeah, we don't
Никто не
know.
говорит 4.
No,
I
no
didn't
one.
know the question before. And just so that you know,
Yeah.
there's no fixed game here.
Yeah, no. No.
Ага. А тогда просто ради интереса.
Yes, and now a question.
Да.
Какой город, да, это?
Да.
This city, do you know this city?
Varanasi.
Yes, of course.
Я просто, Varanasi в следующий раз.
We should give
Okay,
it to the some of the folks who got it right. Go ahead, please. Come. He got the Varanasi right, so you should hear it.
You should also be here. I will still take it, don't worry. Just come.
Yeah.
The photo at least.
Can I take a photo, please?
Yeah.
Wow. You take it, you get into the frame.
Yes, maybe.
Just take the
We
frame.
could take a common photo.
No, we'll do that later. We'll do that later.
Okay, later. But now.
Just take the
Yeah,
photo.
just take it. Just continue to leave it. Maybe.
No, on
can you
their
just
camera.
take here because
You want to take the entire
you
thing?
can close the phone. Okay, thank you.
So 6 months I keep, 6 months you keep.
I think this should be on the 5th floor. So from his table to
That is
yours,
true.
and then we all work in the same building.
Done?
Yeah,
Why don't you come in?
Thank you. Thank you.
it's okay. It's a,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Они повесят, наверное,
Ну да, надо даже прописать. конечно.
Like I said, I'm conscious of the time, so
But Olga also would like to sign it.
oh, sure. Yeah.
А у вас есть чем подписывать?
Нет.
And,
Мне кажется, маркер.
I have a pen if you want.
Now it becomes authentic.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that Russian?
No.
Нет.
No.
And it's oil canvas. That's what it says. Oil
Okay.
canvas. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No, but let me just close the session and then
Yes, of
we
course,
have
of course.
some small formalities. Yeah. But once again, thank you so much for staying for the entire session. I hope you found this interesting, useful. And Olga, thank you again for being so generous with your words,
Спасибо,
with your
что такой
time,
щедрый.
with with the passion with which you narrated the story. I mean, I can see there's a genuine love, not just for painting, but also for our country. And,
Да, что вы любите не только рисовать, но и страну.
It's for us. It's very easy to see when a foreigner is pandering to us, and then there is genuine love and respect for the country in someone who comes from outside. So thank you for this wonderful session.
Знаете, в следующий раз мы можем с вами сделать не только в таком формате, а можем попробовать еще и порисовать. Рассказывая какие-то истории, да, былины, и попробуем их изобразить на холсте.
Next time we could do not only it's like a suggestion. Next time we can do it like a master class. Like we can discuss everything while the painting.
By the painting.
So yes,
So we
just
have a
as
few
the
sketches
seminar.
here. Yeah, we have a few sketches. They become better.
Yes.
The master class. Better.
One. What is your experience in Varanasi?
О,
Experience in Varanasi.
я очень люблю Varanasi. Я прожила там 4 года.
She loves Varanasi so much. She lived there for 4 years.
Я приехала на один день и осталась на 4 года.
So she arrived for 1 day, but stayed for 4 years.
Wonderful. We have a small token of appreciation from India Foundation. May I request Major General
Большое для
Cockroach
вас.
to please give that.
Also, one of the great Russian painters, Nicholas Roerich, painted in India.
Yes, sir. So just one second. We just give photos.